Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you the audio because copyright. But as you can see, this is from the Red Sox game, and the Bud Light stand is completely empty, despite the fact that there is a huge line on the other side. So people would rather stand in queue than to just go there and grab a Bud Light. Now, as you notice in the interesting thumbnail, I said that this lady did more for the right wing than Matt Walsh did. Now, the reason I made this joke is because, number one, Matt Walsh came out recently talking to the quartering and saying that, look, I do more for the right wing than you do, quartering, so don't you tell me. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, if this lady did more than Matt Walsh, then I guess she can give him advice. Now, if you do not know who she is the vice president of marketing and is responsible for this commercial, which I'm pretty sure is going to go down in history. Like some students at the University of Marketing are going to study this commercial in depth, because it seems to be the commercial that did tank a company. And it's not just the commercial that she did. I mean, it took a little bit more effort to tank a company to this level. She also went on an interview and said that traditionally the people who drink Bud Light are fratty, out of touch. And, you know, when you say stuff like that to your customers, it does seem that they do not appreciate doing business with you. For some reason, some customers are different, I guess. Like, if you tell this to gamers or people who go and watch TV shows, then they watch it anyway. But it seems that when you tell it to conservative people who like beer, then they do not appreciate it. So the reason that I'm saying she did a lot for conservatism is that people on the right have realized that they do have purchasing power and that companies shouldn't insult them. Right? Like, notice that other companies also hired Dylan Mulvaney, and they did not experience the same problems as Bud Light does. But I guess like other companies did not flat out insult their consumer base, right? Like, they didn't have the vice president of marketing go out and call people out of touch, implying that being fratty is a bad thing. Like, being fratty also goes hand in hand with football and sports, which many of these people happen to be when they drink the Bud Light, right? Like, at the first video that you saw was at a football game. But up until now, we only knew that the stocks have dropped, significantly so. What we didn't know, however, is if the sales have been impacted, because the sales usually take a while to be calculated, and it takes a few months until we know. Well, apparently now we know. Apparently the drop in sales is a phenomenal 21%. I mean, this commercial is definitely one that's worthy of going into the Guinness World Book of Records, because usually a failed commercial is when you invest money in marketing and nothing sells. So you lost the money for the commercial. This one managed to unsell the product. It literally managed to unsell beer. The company is giving it away and people do not want to buy it. This company has now become a cultural meme. Like, it is fun for Americans to just see that stand with no one going. It's interesting, but apparently Anheuser-Busch CEO is shifting the blame on Dylan Mulvaney ads. No, it's not the ads. You should shift the blame on the person who authorized it, okay? Not on Dylan, no. Like, if I was Dylan and I receive an offer from a beer company and they're paying me, why would I say no? No. The vice president of sales is the person responsible for this, for insulting the customers, for trying to preach on how to behave when you're supposed to sell beer. That is the person responsible, okay? Dylan did absolutely nothing wrong. But apparently the top executive of Bud Light's company is coming out and he's saying we need to clarify the facts that this was one can, one influencer, one post, and not a campaign. Well, that's not what your vice president of sales said in the video. Like, she said that it's time for the beer to grow up, if I remember correctly. Might be wrong, might be paraphrasing a little bit, but it was like, oh, well, the previous people were fratty and out of touch. That's what she said. So don't tell me it was like one beer and not a campaign. And even if it was one beer and not a campaign, imagine if it actually sold. Imagine like if it became the most popular beer in the world, right? If women started also, instead of when they go out partying, instead of like buying a cocktail or a rosé, they would have just started buying beer en masse because of that ad. Would you also say back then it's like, oh well, you know, this is just one campaign. We didn't mean you guys to buy so much. Like, come on, you know. So apparently he says that this is misinformation, right? He's a politician now. He's worried about misinformation. Then the CEO echoed the flat apology offered by the Bud Light CEO, Brendan Whitworth, saying that we will continue to learn, meet the moment in time, all be stronger, and we work tirelessly to do what we do best, bring people together over a beer and creating a future of more cheers. Why do people call this an apology? No, seriously, what is the apologizing? Like, where is the I am sorry? So, or we want to apologize. Where is it? Where is it? I'm not saying that if there was, people would have forgiven. I am asking, though, why are people calling this an apology? It's not even an apology. It's not even an admission of guilt. It's nothing. It's like words. Corporate speak. Meh. But, it's interesting, right? Because it does show the progressive mindset of doing business, of trying to reach for that wider audience while alienating the actual fan base. This is happening in entertainment and video games for years, and now that a beer company is trying it, they realized, oh wait, it doesn't work. Because in video games and entertainment, it's almost all of the companies doing it at the same time, right? So like if all the beer companies would do this, it would have been different. But when you're the only beer company doing it, well, you're getting the backlash. And I don't think they can recover from this. Again, they tried giving beer for free. People don't touch it. It's a meme now. It's very difficult for them to come back from something like this. I don't think they can spend their way out of it. I don't think they can buy more commercials. I don't think they can apologize. Like, if they had apologized, literally right after the commercial was aired, and they noticed there's a boycott, and they would be, okay, we're firing the vice president of sales. Like, we understand that this doesn't resonate well with our fans. You know, we tried something because all the cool kids are doing it, but I guess our company has a different level of fans. We need them, unfortunately. We need their money in order to continue operating, right? If they had done this and framed it in a better way, go process it through ChatGPT or something. Do not hire another lady that's the vice president of sales. Good God. If they would have done this, I'm pretty sure they would have still lost money, but it wouldn't have been at this level, right? Like insulting your consumers, not knowing the market. Not knowing the market. Like, if someone comes up to me and says, V, let's go drink a glass of wine together, I would be like, what? It's not out of the question, but I would like, what? But if they come up to me and say, hey, V, let's go grab a beer, completely different, right? Because demographics exist, age ranges exist, preferences based on gender exist in the real world. If your vice president of marketing is indoctrinated in some bizarre ideology that claims that none of this exists, well, you're going to get that level of commercial, which is insulting your core customer, your core audience. And your core audience are men all around the world, okay? Predominantly, statistically, men drink more beer than women. Women drink alcohol, but different type of drinks. I'm sure there is a woman out there that drinks bitter, but overwhelmingly, if you go to your mother and you offer her bitter, she would probably not like it. She would probably go, it's like, why can't you give me a nice glass of rosé? Right? Like, not understanding this and trying to force it. Like, you're not going to force your beverage down people's throats. So, it is interesting that this has happened. I do not think that they will recover, at least not in a year. Their competitors are going to definitely take the number one spot. And yeah, they're going to experience a lot of dismay based on this. I saw that YouTube was taking down videos from people talking about this situation. I do not know if those videos actually did violate the TOS or they were just taken down. I have no clue. I wouldn't be surprised if the company tries to do damage control, because they're trying everything, but I don't think you can save it. Like, literally, you know what? Like, unless you fire the entire management responsible, and then maybe you get like a VTuber like Pipkin Pippa to sell your beer, like you're going with the anime style or something like that. Like, just something that mindfucks people, you know? But not in the way that, oh, we're going to buy the beer because Nyanners is selling it, or Iron Mouse is... No. It's going to be like, oh my god, you know, I think we broke them, like mentally. Maybe we shouldn't be such bullies to them. Like, just buy the beer out of pity. Like, maybe like that could work, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.